Hello everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, Tama and the Moment I Finally Felt Enough. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don't and oppose. Like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. Most mornings begin the same way. An alarm rings. A hand reaches out, misses the phone once, then twice. The day starts with a small sigh that already feels tired. But that morning, before the alarm had a chance to shout at me, Tama was already awake. I knew because I felt it, the soft weight of his head resting against my ankle, the familiar warmth that never asked for permission but always felt welcome. Tama didn't move. He didn't bark. He didn't demand breakfast or a walk. He just stayed there, breathing slowly, as if he understood that the day could wait. Tama is not a big dog. He's not the kind that looks impressive in photos or turns heads on the street. His fur isn't perfect, and one ear never quite stands up the way it should. But what he lacks in symmetry, he makes up for in presence. When Tama is near, things feel quieter. Not silent, just calmer. That morning, I stayed in bed longer than usual. My phone buzzed with messages, reminders, and things I should already be doing. Work deadlines. Plans I hadn't answered yet. Life knocking impatiently. Tama lifted his head slightly and looked at me. Not the kind of look that asks questions. The kind that says, I'm here. I reached down and scratched behind his ear. His tail tapped the mattress once, slow and lazy, like a gentle agreement. For a moment, I didn't think about productivity. I didn't think about whether I was behind in life. I didn't think about what came next. I just lay there, with a dog who didn't care if I was successful, impressive, or busy, only that I was present. And for the first time in a long while, that felt enough. Tama has a talent for turning ordinary moments into something softer. Later that day, I sat at my desk, pretending to work. My screen was full of open tabs, none of which I was really reading. My mind was louder than the room, counting worries, replaying conversations, imagining futures that hadn't happened yet. Tama walked over and lay down beside my chair. Not directly in front of me, not demanding attention, just close enough that I could feel him there. Every now and then, his tail brushed against my foot. By accident. Or maybe not. When I stood up to make coffee, Tama followed me to the kitchen and sat patiently, watching the kettle like it was the most fascinating thing in the world. When I dropped a spoon, he jumped slightly, then looked embarrassed, as if apologizing for reacting. I laughed. Out loud. A real laugh. It surprised both of us. In the afternoon, we went for a walk. Nothing special, just the same streets, the same trees, the same uneven sidewalk. Tama stopped to sniff everything with great seriousness, as if each scent carried an important story. I waited. I didn't rush him. At one point, a child passing by smiled and waved at Tama. Tama wagged his tail gently, not wildly, just enough to say hello. The child laughed, and for a brief moment, three strangers shared a quiet happiness without exchanging words. I realized then that Tama lives completely in the moment. He doesn't worry about yesterday's mistakes. He doesn't plan 5 years ahead. He doesn't measure his worth by accomplishments. His joy comes from simple things. A familiar path, a kind voice, a warm place to rest. Watching him, I felt something loosen inside me. Maybe life didn't need to be louder, faster, or bigger. Maybe it just needed to be felt. That evening, as the sky turned soft and orange, Tama curled up beside me on the floor. I rested my hand on his back and felt the steady rhythm of his breathing. No rush, no pressure, just being. And again, that quiet feeling returned. Enough. That night, as Tama slept peacefully nearby, I understood something important. We spend so much of our lives chasing more. More success, more approval, more proof that we are doing life correctly. We forget to notice what is already here. Tama never taught me this with words, but with presence. Through him, I learned that feeling enough doesn't mean giving up on growth. It means appreciating where you are before demanding more from yourself. Animals remind us of this beautifully. They don't judge our productivity or our mistakes. They respond to how we show up, with kindness, patience, and care. In today's fast world, we can apply this lesson by slowing down in small ways, sitting with our pets without distractions, walking without checking our phones, listening without rushing to respond. These moments rebuild our connection, not only with animals, but with ourselves. The bond between humans and animals is not about ownership, it's about companionship. They teach us empathy, responsibility, and unconditional presence. When we treat animals with respect and love, we also practice being better humans. Thomas showed me that a quiet moment, shared sincerely, can be more valuable than 1,000 achievements. And sometimes, feeling enough is the first step to truly living well.